All right, dates and rates. How many days should it take a construction loan of $423,146 to earn $50,000 exact interest at an 8% interest rate? So first of all, I know I'm dealing with exact interest, so this is my formula that I want to take a look at. Secondly, let's put in the information we have. How many days would it take a construction loan of $423,146? That's my principal. Okay, so it goes right there. To earn $50,000 in exact interest. So the exact interest they're saying is going to end up being $50,000 at 8% interest. So again, move the decimal 2 places to the left before calculating with our percent. We have 0.08 as our rate times the time divided by 360. Now 365, excuse me. We don't know how many days, so we just put time there over 365. Now to calculate this, what we're going to do is we're going to calculate everything we can over on this side to simplify. So we leave the left-hand side so far is just 50,000, but on the right-hand side, we take our 423,146 times 0.08, okay, and then we're going to divide by 365. Okay, so that gives me about 92.74, okay, times the amount of time. It's okay to go ahead and do that dividing by 365 here. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and solve from there. So I'm going to divide both sides by 92.74, and that will give me my amount of time. And I get 539.14, so about 539 days if I round to the nearest day. Okay, so again, what we did is we put the information in the equation, all the information we have in each of their spots. Then we simplified, and again on this side what we did is we took our 423,146 times the 0.08 and went ahead and divided by the 365 since we knew that was there and got that as a simplified number. We then divided both sides of the equation by that number to find our time in days. Alright, here's Walt Carter. He borrowed $2,500 to purchase a motorcycle. He agreed to pay back $2,800.50 in 270 days. What exact interest rate was he paying? So again, we know we're working with an exact interest problem. We want to fill in the information we have. Do we know how much interest he paid? Well, it's not evident right in the question, but we do know that he borrowed $2,500 and ended up paying back $2,800.50. So the difference there is going to be the interest. Okay, whatever the difference between 2,500 and 2,850. Okay, so we get $300.50 is the amount of interest that he had to pay. Okay, so notice that we figured that out because that's how much additional money he paid back. Okay, so that goes first. Our interest, $300.50, is supposed to be equal to the principal. The original amount of the loan was $2,500 times our rate. That's what we don't know. Times the amount of time. He had the loan for 270 out of, this is exact interest, so out of 365. So again, what we want to do is on the left hand side, just leave that $300.50 for a while. On the right hand side, what we want to do is calculate what we can. So we can go ahead and take the 2,500 times the 270 and divide by 365. And let's just move that rate down to the end so it's not in our way. So again, you take 2,500 times 270 divided by 365. With that, we get $300.50 is equal to $1,849. And, well, I guess these aren't dollars. I'm going to round 1,849.315 times the rate. So again, to calculate that number, I did 2,500 times 270 and then divided by 365. Now I want to solve for the rate. So it's times the 1,849. To solve, I'm going to divide both sides by 1,849.315. Okay, when I do that, I get 0.16249. That's a rate, so we want to change that to a percent. Move it 2 places to the right. It says to round to the nearest tenth of a percent, so we want one more place after our decimal, so we write 16.2% and leave the rest off. Okay, so first we had to find out how much interest he had actually paid by subtracting the total amount minus the original amount of the loan. We put it into our formula for exact interest, multiplied together, and then divided by 365 the things that we could, and divided both sides by that number to solve and get our rate, and then we changed our rate to a decimal, from a decimal to a percent. Alright, how many days would it take $6,400 home remodel loan to earn $2,000 exact interest at a 7% interest rate? Okay, so let's look at the things we have. First of all, we know we're dealing with this second equation because it was an exact interest rate. Do we know the interest? Yes, we know we want it to earn $2,000 in interest. Do we know the principal? Yes, it says the original amount of the loan is $6,400. Do we know the rate? Yes, it's 7%, so we move the decimal 2 places to the left and get 0.07. Then we know the amount of time? No, it says how many days. That's what we're trying to find, so we just know time over 365. So again, we come down here and we do what we can. On the left, we leave the 2,000 for now. On the right, we do 6,400 times 0.07 and then divide by 365. Okay, and I would round that out as far as I could, as many as I'm willing to write down. Just because the less we round, the closer we get to the correct answer. So that gives me 1.2273976. Okay, we want to solve for our time, so it's multiplied by that number. We would divide both sides by that number. And that should give us our amount of time. Oh, that is a lot of time. 1,629 days.